Okay, ladies and gentlemen, call the meeting to order. I need a mover and a seconder to go into closed session. Councilor McHugh moves, seconded by Councilor Boyce. All in favor? Thank you. Into closed session. national anthem, and then I'll direct you. Thank you.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Please be seated. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for coming tonight, ladies and gentlemen, or maybe it's not quite night, it's afternoon. It's dark enough. It's been a great wintry day, so we'll carry on. I want to certainly express my condolences to the family of the young lady who was hit in the accident, and certainly our thoughts and prayers are with you. That's it. And I'll ask, okay, any disclosures of pecuniary interest at this time? Anyone? Declare that closed. Okay. Approval. I need approval of the agenda. Councillor Allier, Councillor McHugh. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Any approval of the minutes at the special council budget meeting held on November the 8th be approved, and need a move and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Armstrong moves, seconded by Councillor McHugh. Okay, any comments or questions with respect to that meeting? Budget process is carrying on. It's not an easy process this year, but it never is, but we'll do our best. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. Resolution, minutes of the regular council meeting held on November 15th be approved. Mover and a seconder for that, please. Councillor Armstrong moves. Councillor Elliott seconds. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, then that's where I'm at for that one then. Okay. All right. Yeah, give me that one. Okay, we're at delegations, please. Jacqueline Pierre, St. Pierre, Manager of Business Development at 8 Wing, and Renee Henson, 8 Wing Chief Warrant Officer at 8 Wing CFB Trenton. And then we have Honorary Colonel Julie Lang as well. Thank you very much. And going to speak to us about a fantastic event coming up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for having us. As introduced, my name is Chief Warrant Officer Renee Hansen, and I am the 8-Wing Chief Warrant Officer. And we're here this afternoon to provide you with a bit of a brief on our upcoming air show. So with that, we have Kevin Tromp with us, Honorary Julie Lang, and Jacqueline St. Pierre. So I will hand the floor over to Honorary Colonel Julie Lang.
Thank you, Mayor and councillors. Nice to see all your smiling faces on a winter day. I'm just here, I'm the cheerleader of the group and here to reinforce the enthusiasm in the community with which the 100th anniversary air show is being received. I'm having lots of conversations with both clients and corporations expressing how grateful we are and excited we are about it. The detail people are behind me, so without further ado, I'll hand it over to Kevin and Jackie. And again, thank you for having us here.
Ma'am, thank you. Mayor, councillors, to the clerk, city and staff, and invited guests, thanks very much. I'm Jackie St. Pierre, and I'll be speaking to you today about our proposal and giving you some updates on an air show that we are planning. So right off the very top, we are planning on 60,000 guests per day. So we've increased from 100,000 to 120,000 people expected for the Quinte International Air Show. Tickets will be going on sale shortly. I would acknowledge at this time that we are within a media blackout, and we'll be in the media blackout for Canadian Armed Forces, D&D, Government of Canada until December 1. So following that, we'll be looking at putting our tickets on sale and some great announcements that we'd like to make about the ticket pricing this year. So I'm going to hand it over to retired Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Tromp, who is actually the producer of the show.
Mayor, councillors, good evening. My name is Kevin Tromp. I'm a pilot. I did 27 years in the Air Force. I helped organize the air show in 2016, and I was asked to come back and provide a bit of my experience to help with the 2024 air show.
That's what happens when you do a good job, sir.
Or there's nobody left. I will say that the 2024 Quinte International Air Show will be one of the biggest air shows in Canada. Arguably, the CNE will be the biggest air show in Canada next year, but it's a different type of air show. Not everybody goes to the CNE to see the air show. Of the traditional style air shows, the Quinte International Air Show will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest. The performers for 2024, I'm not at liberty to disclose those yet. They're going to be finalized at the International Council of Air Shows in Las Vegas next week. And after that, we'll be able to announce our lineup. I can tell you that in all likelihood, we're going to have a stealth fighter and probably a second air demonstration team as highlights of the air show. It's going to be every bit as spectacular as 2016 and probably even more so. So I think Jackie's mentioned 100,000 guests as our target. We'll accommodate up to 120,000 for the weekend. I think that this is achievable for a couple of reasons. I think maybe one more slide.
Well, actually, sir, if you could just talk about the early bird ticket prices.
Okay. The lineup is good, and then the ticket prices are actually lower in 2024 than they were in 2016. I've set the ticket prices very aggressively low to encourage the maximum amount of participation possible. We're going to focus on advance sale tickets. And the advance sale tickets are going to be, an adult ticket will be $10 and a family of 5 will be $35, plus fees and taxes. This is cheaper than 2016, and I think with a ticket price like that, I honestly think you're going to see a lot of people at the air show. Hopefully 100, maybe 120. We have set a limit at 120 because any more than that could be a detriment to the people that are attending. It just becomes too packed.
So just a couple of other notable changes about the event in 2024. So the lower ticket prices is a great attraction to the event. In addition, we are now going to have a new area of way we load people into the air show. So your tickets will actually be scanned at the shuttle buses. So you'll arrive at your shuttle bus location, your ticket will be scanned, you'll board your shuttle, and you'll be off to the air show. So then when you arrive at 8 Wing, you'll be escorted ordered right in. Obviously, we coming into an air show base, we can inspect anyone at any time, but the ticketing will actually be done in the parking lot, allowing for less lineups. Some of the other areas that we've put in is more shuttle locations, and we certainly are working with your team because there's been a lot of changes since 2016 to parking lots and parking lot spaces. So more shuttle locations, staggered entry times so that not all 60,000 a day arrive all at the exact same time. And some other communication strategic objectives that we're looking at, and we've been working with your team in some discussions as well. So in fact, what we're doing is inviting all municipalities to join our communications marketing team to help us to make sure that we get messages out to folks in your area. So for instance, it's been a long time since we've hosted an air show, and things have changed. Social media has changed, and the way we talk and the way we are able to engage with our customers. So what we're hoping to do through this process is have your teams talk about how to enjoy an air show, what to bring to the air show, what things are allowed, how to board a bus, little pointers on, leave Fido at home, please. Please bring air defenders with you. So all those fabulous tips. Now, the other piece is the comms teams will help us push out messages the day of the show. You see, we have planes up in the air long before the show starts, so we can also tell you where the traffic problems are going to be a little bit before you encounter those on the 401. So through those communication initiatives, we feel that we can give a stronger presence for the show. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about economic impact of air shows in Canada. So the slides that I have here for you, so there are bases that have done, and wings that have done air shows during the pandemic and post-pandemic. And of course, because of operational readiness, we have stood down those opportunities, but can't wait for this opportunity as we celebrate our 100th anniversary. So I'm going to just draw your attention to a couple of pieces on the slides. You'll notice that the spectator survey data comes from ICAS, which is the International Council of Air Shows, and they provide economic data and also do air show analytics on the ends. So one of the interesting pieces of this is that they understand from the board and show that 30% of visitors traveled up to 160 kilometers or more to the show. Moving on to some other economic data from Borden gives you some ideas of the education level, psychographics of the people that are attending the show. And the last slide I have here is from Cold Lake, Alberta. So from the Cold Lake show, this is gives a good dollar figure on economic impact that we can sort of do some math on. So in this case, Cold Lake, Alberta, in their 2018 show had 21,000 attendees. And when you look at total economic impact of that, was 861,000 to the area. So you can you can do a little bit of quick math, and you can figure with us expecting 60,000 people per day to the area, this will have economic impact for the city of Quinte West and the surrounding areas. And of course, what we want to be able to do is work with your teams to make sure that people stay in the area a little bit longer. It is a long weekend, so we want folks to be able to come in and enjoy the region. And what we've actually put together is corporate sponsorship. We have gone out starting in July, recruiting corporate sponsors to join us in this event and drawing your attention to the community sponsorship level. So with the community sponsorship level, this is where we're asking municipalities, tourism partners, et cetera, to join us for the event. And because we are limited in time, I'm not going to go through all the initiatives there, and I know that you've had a copy to look at this as well, but I can stand to answer any questions that you have. I think the other piece that we certainly understand with the City of Quinte West is that you really are already a partner. You are very much the host of the air show, and you also provide a lot of in-kind services. So we recognize that and thank you for your hosting. So we will be joining, I've put up here a couple of areas that celebrations that are happening, along with the 100th anniversary, and, a couple of other dates that you may want to take a look at. So June 27th, we'll have our media flights up. We will see all of our planes arriving on the 27th. Couple arriving a few days earlier. The 27th media flights and working with our partners coming into the base. The 28th, we're going to be doing a full dress rehearsal, followed that evening by a blast-off party with all of our performers and our sponsors. Attendees will be about 650 for that event when we look at sponsors, attendees, and the performers. And then we'll be moving for the 29th and 30th into a 2-day show. So the show is repeated on the 29th and 30th. It is the same show. I think some of the nice additions when we look at the show, we have our bands, back up and running, so the pipes and drums, as well as our concert band is rejoining us, and we look forward to them being with us for that event as well. So I think my last slide might be missing. Excuse me, no? I'll set that aside. So I do stand ready to answer any questions that we can provide details with you, but we'd request that you would join us as a sponsor, recognizing already as a host city, you make a huge commitment to hosting the event. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm sure we will. We'll definitely, we're one of very few councils that can boast an air show every day.
It is an air show every day.
Yes. Councilor Armstrong.
Basically, you're having locals and tourists coming to this event.
Correct.
Locals by Belleville, Trenton, Sterling, Brighton, the county, et cetera. So the issue of scanning tickets, can you set it up so that I could be in a certain postal code, for example, and know that that is where I go to park my car or walk to get a bus versus going anywhere? And now you got congestion in spots, because that was an issue at times with all the, so have you got that kind of technology in play?
Yes, sir. So we can announce that we are working with e-tickets, and it's with ShowPass. ShowPass is a company that's in Calgary and a leader in the area of e-tickets for air shows. So what we're doing this year is we not only will have our website, as soon as the media blackout is out, we'll have our website up so that you can view it, but we also will have an app. So the app will provide the engagement piece to make sure that you understand, working with the communities around us, pushing out everything sort of from little mini podcasts to news stories will help people in advance, preparing for the air show. But the actual timing of, coming to the show and finding out the best parking lot, that will all be in the app. So user experience on the app. And at the same time, we'll be using social media to send out just-in-time messaging. Wooler Road is now backed up. Please proceed to, this area. This parking lot is now full. Please consider these 2 other lots. The other part about moving to e-tickets is we also have the opportunity now to, through the e-ticketing service, we can do just-in-time messaging to everyone, should there be incidents.
A follow-up
Sir.
question. Since it's the 100th year anniversary, will you be offering any kind of discount to those who've served?
Yes, sir. So the tickets are $8 for you. So under 6, free. 6 and under, free. 7 to 17 is $8, along with current serving military, the veterans, and seniors, $8 for adults. And folks joining us in uniform will not pay. And so I do have at 8 Wing, I manage the MVP, the Military Veterans Program, and we're meeting with them tomorrow, and they will have tickets, to attend.
Thank you. Any more questions? Anyone? Do you want to make anybody want to make a comment? I know of two guys that go to hockey games. Any comments about the team and what they're doing? No? Well,
Yeah, they're wearing the jerseys.
well, they're wearing blue, signifying your 100th anniversary. That's the Hawks. The goalie, Ben Bonesteel, fantastic young man. You know what he's doing?
No, sir.
He is donating, and I can't tell you the figure, but so much money for every save he makes to military veterans.
Excellent.
Every save he
Bravo.
makes, he donates, and there are other people that are putting money in with his donation. So,
Protect that net.
pardon?
Protect that net. Yeah.
Just a fantastic young man to even
Yeah.
think like that. I'm a little older and I don't even think that way. So I got to give him a lot of credit for, thinking. I can do something. I'm a goalie in the city, but I can do more. And that's
Bravo.
exactly what you're doing. And I love the air show that I see on a regular basis. You fly over my farm and the cows don't even lift their heads, so that's how often you go over. But it's great, and the Hawks had a night not too long ago where they remembered Jennifer Casey. Well, that was a great evening, great night, and yeah, so.
And appreciated. too.
Anything else that I've omitted, but, and thank you very much for all the work you're doing, and, I know, Caleb's working on budget, so, but we'll certainly do our part, and, yeah, it's been, every time I go, and you say this show's the same on both days, that's what you tell me, right? Well, I can go both days and see whatever you show me on the first day, it's just that much better on the second day.
Watching that show every day, it never gets boring.
Yeah, that's right, exactly, and I appreciate the work you do, and as I say, we can boast an air show every day, but we know the people in those airplanes, those aircrafts, they're going to other parts of the world to make things better for the people living there. So I appreciate the work you do all the time, so, and thank you
sir.
very much.
We
and
will
keep it
pass
up.
that on to the
And
wing
keep some of
commander.
those
Thank
old
you.
pilots around too, because they've got skills that, yeah, we appreciate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, we'll keep moving then. Mark Burgoyne, Quinte Labor Council, regarding request a motion be passed to support guaranteed livable basic income. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and City Councilors. A basic income is a direct payment from government to ensure that everyone has sufficient income to meet basic needs, participate in society, and live with dignity regardless of work status. Basic income is needed for several reasons. Minimum wage falls below a living wage, increase in food insecurities, precarious jobs are increasing, there's poor health, physical and mental health, unaffordable housing and homelessness are also increasing. Just a bit of a background on the Guaranteed Living Basic Income. It actually began back in 2016. The province ventured to create the pilot project to test a growing view at home and abroad that basic income could provide a new approach to reducing poverty in a sustainable way. In June 2016, the Honourable Hugh Segal was asked for advice on how to design, deliver, and evaluate a basic income pilot. He advocated for the guaranteed annual income for decades. And under his guidance, it was implemented and put into place began in 2017. And across Ontario, it included 4,000 residents, 2,000 from Lindsay, 1,000 in Hamilton, and another 1,000 in Thunder Bay. Unfortunately, in July of 2018, that project was scrapped. Residents on programs such as Ontario Works receive targeted fixed monthly incomes of $733, and Ontario Disability Support Services recipients receive $1,376. At the current Ontario minimum wage rate of $16.55 per hour, a person working full-time or 37.5 hours per week will earn approximately $2,689 monthly before taxes. The median monthly rent for our area is roughly $2,000 for a one-bedroom. And just as a reminder, most rent is considered affordable when it does not exceed 30% of your income. For example, in Niagara West, rent is approximately 272% of Ontario Works, 145% of Ontario Disability Services Plan, 75% of minimum wage full-time, and 150% of wage part-time in that region. A guaranteed livable basic income is payment to eligible couples or individuals that ensures a minimum income level regardless of employment status. It is different from social assistance and that a basic income can be given to anyone who meets the income eligibility criterion, who may be working but earning below the basic income level. Many in our area are already at a disadvantage. The food banks across the province have seen an increase of 38%. The poverty line in 2022 was $2,054 per month. As you've already heard, many are receiving social assistance or ODSP are well below the poverty line. Nearly 1/3 of Canadians say they do not make enough to pay their bills. 53% do not feel they have enough at the end of the month to save for retirement, or they're juggling which bills they're going to pay each month. Is it going to be rent? Is it going to be food, clothing, etc.? And a lot of the job securities in the region are on short-term contracts and are precarious work or freelancing and temp agencies. Having a basic income implemented would help many of the residents across the province, but also in our municipality. A basic income would allow people to participate in the local economy and live safely and thrive in their communities, reducing the financial burden of health, legal, and social services. It would help reduce homelessness and demonstrate improvement in the lives of the participants. I know that you were provided a copy earlier of the motion that I'm asking you to pass at the meeting, but I also indicated some of the municipalities across the province that have recently passed this bill, but there was 3 that I recently found out about. Belleville actually passed theirs on October the 10th. Prince Edward County passed theirs on November the 14th, and the Halton region passed theirs on November the 22nd. And I would sincerely hope that you will look at this information and agree to also join that long list of municipalities to support in a guaranteed income. It is just a letter writing process. We're not looking for money to be spent, because I know budgets are tight. We know all about that. We're just looking for you to do a letter support writing, and I hope we can count on you to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any comments or questions from Councillor Card?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I really appreciate that Marg brought this forward. I've been a big fan of the UBI or GBI. There's a lot of different names for it over the years, and she made very eloquent points about some of the kind of moral and economic justice grounds. We don't get to talk about a lot of this as kind of more provincial federal policy, but it's a very interesting and attractive idea because it would replace basically the patchwork of social safety net. We know all of the acronyms: EI, OW, CPP, ODSP, OAS, OHIP, and there's actually a lot of left of center and right of center economists who really support the approach because of how efficient and how much administrative overhead and how much redundancy could be taken out. Just a flat payment was given to everyone. Of course, wealthier pay it back and probably in taxes at tax time, but it's a great policy that I was glad to see brought forward, and I'll absolutely support motion to support the UBI.
Councillor Boyce. Councillor Boyce, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. A question to Margaret. What is for those that may not know, what's the difference between lobbying for a guaranteed basic income and then, say, lobbying the province for a raise, an additional raise in the minimum wage?
Sorry, that's a very good question, but the basic income, guaranteed income would, it sort of offsets the red tape, so you're not looking at that. And by increasing the minimum wage, we know it's already well behind even the living wage in our area. Mm-hmm. At least by putting a figure, and that is whatever the government looks at is deciding whether, what that guaranteed income level would be. And anybody that makes over that would then pay it back from the information I received. So it's not as problematic. It doesn't hit the people that have the small businesses that you hear are concerned, well, now I have to pay this extra money and this and that, and everybody else jumps up their prices. This is a whole different way of looking at things, and it was actually done very well through the gentleman back in 2016. And that he'd been trying to work on it for decades. So it's something that has been thought of for a long time. And there is a lot more information out there, and I'd be more than welcome to ensure that you receive it.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that, because okay. I've always wondered what the difference is. And I know I've heard from a number of businesses that say, well, if we were to raise it further, then that price just gets offset to the consumers, and then the consumers who will find the prices more, and it'll almost be a circle.
Yeah.
That the prices will go up, the wages will go up, but then the prices will go up, and then, what happens?
Right, and raising the minimum wage only affects those that can find a job. It does not impact those that are on social assistance or ODSP who I indicated are well below the poverty line. This would help bring them up to respectful living income.
Yeah.
So that they can find housing.
And I think that's
so
important.
that's, to me, is the big, yes, that's why this needs to be supported.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Pardon? Okay. Understand we have a petition here tonight, is that correct? We got one? Do you want to come up with it, or what have you done with it, or Diane? Guess that's my question. And you have 10 minutes to speak to it if you would like to.
Good evening, everyone. I am Diane Linden, here to give my input from a very personal standpoint concerning the tragedy that occurred on November 17th at 7:40 p.m. on 2nd Doug Hill Road in Trenton. I got the call nobody wants, the frantic voice of one of my twin granddaughters, watching them put her very best friend in an ambulance. Savannah pleaded with me to meet them at the hospital and to pray, Grammy, pray. Arriving at the hospital, I see the grave faces of our two families, the Lazaros and the Maltbys. I rushed to hold her twin Sierra, who bravely called 911 and administered CPR until the ambulance got there. 12 years old, getting her dear friend to breathe again. They were on their way to Walmart. They could see it from where they were, almost to the partial sidewalk that would have prevented this. In my daughter's own words, basic common sense. Do not rapidly construct communities by leaps and bounds without proper infrastructure to support safe travel between the homes and shopping centers for those without a vehicle. Signs are for the cars that obey, and walkers need a safe path. Clearly, as we devastatingly found out on November 17th, drivers don't always obey the signs, then life is lost. Saren was near and dear to my family, and my daughter was only inches from possibly losing her life that night as well. Too much has been taken from us. No more. We especially, those who live in these 6 subdivisions, demand action to put in safe walkways and lights. 6 subdivisions, a church, a school, an unfenced park, and a trailer park all have to traverse this 18th century road that the city has expanded around. People walk their dogs, push baby carriages, ride bikes, jog day and night along that road. That unsafe road in a construction zone. Concerns have been voiced for years by the residents of those subdivisions, and yet were unheard and unheeded. Well, can you hear us now? As tax-paying citizens, we are all entitled to safe roads. As swift as those houses are being built and lived in, so can sidewalks and lighting be installed, making it safe for all who must use 2nd Doug Hill Road. 2025 is too late for promises. No other family should have to endure the searing pain of loss our families are suffering. A mother who refuses to return to the Belleville home where her only child, Saren, already had a decorated Christmas tree in her room. An unconsolable father who never left the hospital staying by his comatose child. My granddaughter, Savannah, who read to her daily and was with her long after Saren passed. The hospital created a plaster cast of them holding hands. And so I say to you, along with the signatures of over 1,500 and counting, and the people here today, we the people demand sidewalks and lighting now, not in 2025 as you proposed. It's already too late. Do this so Saren didn't lose her life in vain. Thank you.
Staff Sergeant Dolan to give us a comment with respect to the accident and where you're at, I guess, at this time.
Your Worship, it's still very early on in the investigation. It's quite an active and ongoing investigation, so I can't share any information that's case specific at that time.
I'm sorry. It's exactly where we are as council. It's an ongoing investigation, and so I'm sure there will be further, developments. So at this time, we really can't make any comments. So that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you very much. We certainly understand your pain. I can only feel it. I have not had that happen to me, but I can, understand how you're feeling. I do, and I'm sure all of us do. So thank you very much. Okay. Anything else under public input? Anyone else? Come on up, please. Thank you. Come up, please, so we can, we're on TV, we gotta hear you.
Manuel Rodriguez, I live at 89 Crestview Lane, Trenton, Ontario. Been a resident for approximately 21 years. Are you at this time inviting comment on Second Dug Hill Road, or is that for further on down the road?
No, now's the time.
Okay, as I indicated here, I've been a resident for 21 years, approximately 21 years. I'm totally frustrated with Second Dug Hill Road, from Telephone Road all the way to Caring Place. This accident, and I'll call it that for now, is a tragedy that should have been forecasted. Some dozen subdivisions have been approved either west of or on Telephone Road since I've lived here. Every time one of those subdivisions is approved or discussed, Telephone Road comes into the picture. And it comes into the picture because of its overall condition. Lack of sidewalks, lack of lighting, lack of crosswalks, increased traffic, and no shoulder on the road. There isn't a city councilor here that can tell me right now that that road meets municipal regulations, meets provincial regulations. There's no way anyone can tell me here that there's a 4-foot approximate shoulder throughout Second Dug Hill Road. My personal experience, I used to run, walk every second day. That was my fitness. The second time I used Second Dug Hill Road, I realized I had to stop. As a pedestrian, whether you're on a bike, walking, or running, you have no way out when a vehicle, for whatever reason, does not see you. You can't skip off that road and go onto a shoulder. You can't take the shoulder. You end up in a ditch. And I just don't get it, because I addressed this issue to this council, not these members, 3 times. And I will read you what I sent this last time as it pertains to the CNCP, if I'm permitted,
Yes.
maintenance that's
Go ahead. Go
gonna be
ahead.
done, okay?
We got 45 seconds.
This was addressed to Quinte West. As you know, traffic is in, this is just a synopsis. This is verbatim from the email, but only a portion of the email. As you know, traffic increased greatly on Second Dug Hill Road over the last 2 decades, as approximately 10 subdivisions have been built approved in the area. It's more like a dozen. I also think Second Dug Hill Road does not meet any Ontario road standards. Pushing traffic to Second Dug Hill Road will increase the chance of death or injury to individuals utilizing Second Dug Hill Road. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. If you get out of your vehicle and you walk that road, you know what can happen. And that's from Caring Place to Telephone Road. And every time a new subdivision gets in, and I'm pro-development, there's been no upgrades to Second Dug Hill Road. The answer you get from Quinte West is it's going to be taken care of. 2 decades it hasn't been taken care of. And I don't know what the accident investigation is going to reveal, but I'd like to think, I hate to think, that it's a contributing factor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Any other public input?
Lady back here.
Come on up, please.
My name is Alexandra Solomonu. I've lived in this area for a while, and I do go for walks along Dug Hill Road. and around up to Telephone Road. I have seen people walking along there, people going to work from the new subdivision along Dug Hill Road. The sides of the roads, very inadequate. People can trip, and it's not level and that. I've seen people on bikes, walking, or even taking their dogs. And there isn't enough space. I've seen people driving along there. I've driven along there, speeding, right? And that, and it's uncalled for. And the kids today, if they're on their cell phones, if they're not paying any attention to what's coming in front of them or behind them, if they are going by the law where if you're walking against the traffic, then you would have seen you've seen a car coming towards you. But if you're going with the traffic, walking, you don't know who's coming behind you, right? Because I lived in Toronto too, and that was the thing that a lot of the educational people said. You're walking, riding your bike, you go with the traffic. But if you're walking, you go against the traffic where you can see the vehicle coming towards you, right? But I have seen kids in groups walking. They think that they own the road as well. They'll walk on the road. So people that are driving may have to slow down. But if the person is in the car behind the wheel, drunk or with alcohol or drugs that are behind the wheel, they don't see the people in front of them. And of course, Dug Hill Road is not well lit, because some of the lights along there are mainly in where the marshes are. It's not lit properly at all. I walk along there no matter what time of day or night, and it's inconvenient for anyone that walks that way. And in the wintertime, it's going to be more hectic for people that have to walk from the new subdivision to work at Walmart or wherever. And that's my point of view.
Thank you.
Okay?
We're not suggesting any of the comments that you made are coming from us. We're not suggesting anything like that. I'm not saying the driver was in any condition. I have no idea. And the girls were walking properly. That's it. Okay, well, I know what you're saying, but I'm not, that's not coming from us. Thank you. Anyone else for public input? Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Thomas St. Louis. I just want to say sorry for your loss first. I don't want to skip over that. The hearing about the UBI is just really exciting. And I believe I've heard of that study before. They gave cash handouts, and it was not used on drugs or alcohol or anything of that sort, if you guys look into it. But that's just what I wanted to add.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Anything else? Okay, we'll continue on then. I got resolution that the minutes of the Accessibility Advisory Committee meeting held on October the 5th be approved. Mover and seconder for that, please. Councillor Sharp moves, seconded by Councillor McHugh. Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. The next one is the resolution that the request made by Gray Timber Incorporated for the Community Improvement Plan Incentive Program funding for the property at 34-46 Front Street, Trenton, the amount of $31,000 be approved, and further that the $23,645.35 be funded from the remaining 2023 Community Improvement Grant budget, and the balance in the amount of $7,354.65 be funded from the 2024 Community Improvement Grant budget and paid in 2024. Moved by Councillor O'Neill, seconded by Councillor Card. Any comments or questions? Sally, sorry. Question, comment? No? All in favor? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, a proclamation that Council proclaimed March the 26th, 2024 as National Epilepsy Awareness Day in the city of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color purple in March 26, 2024, pending no scheduling conflicts. That's a good one. That's Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by, gotta get somebody. Councillor Armstrong, all right, any comments or questions? All in favor? McHugh, that's good. Okay, I've got printed information and non-printed, so I got a mover and a seconder to accept printed and non-printed. Councillor Sharp moves, seconded by Councillor Elliott. Any comments or questions on anything in the printed material? Anyone? Okay. Go ahead.
Just a couple of comments. I had a few complaints. I see there's one here, unnecessary engine brake noise. I know we're going to have a delegation that coming to one of the council meetings in the spring, or one of the active transportation committee meetings with regards to that, so I want to draw attention to that there.
There's a lot of information in there.
Okay, and also the resolution for the income tax, increase the income tax deduction for firefighters, volunteer firefighters. I'm all for that. And I guess those are the two I was concerned with. And I also see in here, I think this is what Belleville is doing now. We should draw attention to that. The speed cameras in safety zones as well. So
we'll get a report. We've got to get something done on that. We're not there yet, but we will. Okay. Okay, Councillor O'Neill, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm happy to report this Tuesday on the Community and Social Services Committee for Hastings County, which Councillor Sharp and Armstrong are on, that we voted to open the warming centers two weeks earlier. And we were at Saturday, the number of homeless people out and how cold it was. I'm really happy that we were able to do that.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Do you want to mention anything about cost, or does that? No? Okay, that's fine. I'm fine. If you're good, I'm fine. Okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's great, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, all in favor? Okay, new business. Anything under new business?
I have
Under new business?
Mr. Mayor?
Okay, well,
Mr. Mayor?
then I go, no, nothing under new business?
Councilor Sharp.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to, thank you, Mr. Mayor, just comment on the Great Santa Claus Parades that we had this past weekend, and to just acknowledge Councillor Reed and all the volunteers that worked on the parade in Frankfurt. I know that there's a big crew there, but Councillor Reed is one of the volunteers, and thank you and Jane and Jeff for pulling together the council float. So thank you very much.
I didn't do much, but I know somebody who did. Anyways, thank you very much. And listen, it was a great day. Fantastic weather. Yes, Councillor Reed, you must have been in charge of weather. Yeah, it was a beautiful day. Both days were beautiful, really, I thought, you know. So, and we had a good turnout, Fantastic crowds in both places. And, you know, Santa Claus Parade is to, help young people enjoy. I got my insurance bill, but anyway. Councillor McHugh.
Thanks. Just want to back up here a bit. I think Councillor Card, were you not interested in passing the resolution to support the livable income? And I'd be happy to second that at this time. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to do that. It's an excellent recommendation, and program has been piloted in many different locales over the years, and had very good outcomes. Amount of work stays about the same. Some people think, if there's more transfers to folks, they work less. That isn't true, and health and wellness outcomes are better. And again, we could just if the federal government ever took it up at the big level, there'd be a lot of the patchwork of social safety net, clear it all out, and just one transfer, whether it's quarterly, yearly, every month. It's very similar to a reverse income tax, actually. That's another cousin policy, but I won't get too wonky. But yes, I would like to move that council supports.
Councillor McHugh, second.
Yeah.
Any further comments?
Yeah,
Any
Mr. Mayor.
further comments? Councillor Quinte.
Yeah, I have to say that really, I don't feel that this motion has anything to do with the operations or the how the city of Quinte West does business. So I'm not going to support the motion. And there's a reason why the program in its test phase didn't work either. For whatever reason, I don't know. I must say I haven't done a lot of research on it. I feel that there are a lot of social safety nets in progress. That is true. And a lot of people are complaining that they're not working. Whether this is the right way to go, I can't answer that question either. I just feel that this has really nothing to do with how the city of Quinte West does business. And if the federal government and the provincial government want to take this ball and run with it, then I'll leave it up to them. Like, what is it to the city of Quinte West? I know that lots of people live in the community, lots of people work in the community, and feel that this just isn't it's not on the city of Quinte West's radar to deal with. So leave it up to them. So I'm not going to be supporting it.
They're not asking us to deal with it. They're asking us to support it. That's what we're doing in principle.
I'm not going to support the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I would point out that it is just a recommendation, and that Councillor Quinte is correct that we're not administering social services or some of the transfers for the patchwork social safety net, but certainly I think we can all get behind economic security, more economic security for our citizens, and better health outcomes. And I'm certainly happy to share some of the research and some of the there's been dozens of pilots in the States and around Europe, and very, very solid outcomes. And like I mentioned, it was actually popularized in the 60s and 70s by also Milton Friedman, a right of center economist too. It crosses over the traditional polarization on these issues. So it's a good to support.
Okay, all in favor? All in favor? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, carried. Thank you very much. Okay, we're at
New business?
Well, it can be, yeah. I thought it was.
No, I would appreciate that if I could. Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it if I could do it. Just a couple of announcements. Again, the fantastic parades. Let everybody know that Quinte West Fire Station number 2 will be holding their annual boot drive this Saturday, December the 2nd, the north entranceway to Walmart. They're raising funds to support both the food bank and the community Christmas dinner, which will be held again this year upstairs at the Legion. It's free to any and all, and the meal will be served between 1 and 4 p.m. again at the Legion upstairs. Thank you.
Any live turkeys there? Or you're not going to be?
You won't be there, no.
All right. Anything else? Councillor Armstrong.
Sorry, Linda.
Go ahead, Councillor Reid. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Thank you very much. I'd just like to mention too that on Saturday, December 2nd at Foodland, it's Fill the Boat, where Frankfurt Lions Club and the fire department work together to fill the boat to help the food banks between 9 and 2 o'clock on Saturday, December 2nd, Frankfurt Foodland. Bring your groceries, please, and help us out.
Well, thank you very much. You just reminded me we had the holiday train here, and they donated, CP donated a check of $5,000 for our Care and Share Food Bank, and Bob Mitz was there. I gotta give him a lot of credit. He's got a big boot or a large truck, and he fills everything to the best of his ability. So I thank Bob and the Kinsman for the work you do to help other people, and it's much appreciated. So thank you very much. Anything else? Anyone else?
Just a reminder about the toy drive. They're still collecting.
That's another one. Yes.
And also Adopt a Child, still looking for donations there. Yes. And the Kinsman, or the Kiwanis luncheon this Friday. Right?
The good news is?
John Lewis is speaking?
No, he's away. He's away.
No, the good news?
He's away.
Oh, that's the good news. Okay. I was going to agree with what you just said.
Anyways, Tim Durkin is in I think, I shouldn't, I think he is. Anyway, anything else from anyone else? Anyone else? Going once, going twice? I need two for confirmation.
Corporate services. Mr. Mayor, we need to approve the
miss
bylaws
something?
first.
Bylaws first, second, and third.
Oh, yeah, bylaws. Okay, well, that's what I need, bylaws.
They can be approved as one motion.
Yeah, prove in one motion, everything in one motion. Counselor Boyce and Counselor Sharp. All in favor?
Sorry, Your Worship,
Oh,
can you
did I miss
please,
something?
can you please pull bylaw 23, 166 out of the rest of them and vote on that separately?
Can, yeah?
That's the one on the prohibition of the train whistles.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you want to pull that one out?
Yeah, and vote on it separately.
Need a seconder to pull it out. We got a motion, Counselor Quinte, motion to, so I'm gonna motion to pull that one out. Okay, all bylaws except that one. Okay, Counselor Boyce and Sharp, all in favor of the bylaws except for, now what do you want to do with that one? That's my question. Guess, yep.
Prefer not to vote. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so 23-166, being a bylaw to prohibit the use of train whistles at specified railway roadway crossings situated within the geographic boundaries of the city of Quinte West. So that's the one we pulled out.
I ask for a recorded vote.
Okay, mover and a seconder for that one? Okay, we got it. You good? Josh, you good? Mr. Clerk? Got a recorded vote?
You're just looking for a recorded vote on the approval of the
Yeah,
bylaw?
That one bylaw, yes.
Okay. Counselor Ellier?
Yes.
Counselor Armstrong?
Yes.
Counselor Boyce? Counselor Card?
Yes.
Counselor Freeman?
Yes.
Counselor Quinte?
No.
Counselor McHugh?
Yes.
Counselor O'Neill?
Yes.
Counselor Reed?
Yes.
Counselor Sharp?
Yes.
Counselor Steto?
No.
Mayor Harrison?
Yes.
10 yeses, 2 nos.
Motion carried, thank you. Okay, that bylaw is official. All right, now I'm ready for confirmation bylaw. 2 for confirmation. Councilor McHugh, move. Seconder for confirmation. Councilor Armstrong. All right, 2 for adjournment. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Record, fantastic. Turn on the lights outside and I'll be glad to